Friends, 1052 days of war between Russia and Ukraine, while the peace agreement between Hamas and Israel has become 128 days old. But except that Hamas has stopped resisting, Hezbollah has been silenced, and other resistance forces have been quieted, like Houthis and like several in Syria, Iraq. Nothing has changed as far as IDF is concerned. It continues its massacre, bombing in Gaza Strip, Lebanon, and it has strengthened its defense bunker systems, offensive systems in southern Syria, adjacent to Golan Heights. The government in Syria, Iraq, and many other adjacent countries in Middle East as well as in African countries like Somaliland are meant to serve the interests of US imperialism and Israeli Zionism. What you see in background is part of Iranians' celebration of 1979, so-called Islamic Revolution, in which the pro-American king was thrown out and the present regime was established under the leadership of religious leader Ayatollah Khomeini. And now that system continues. Despite the previous upheavals a few weeks back all over Iran, where hundreds of masjids or mosques were burnt, several Iranian constables, police, and other people killed, and massive destruction took over place. Yet, these are the people who support the present regime. To my understanding, this is basically anti-Zionist and anti-imperialist mood which has gripped the masses, and hence they have no alternative but to join the present regime in safeguarding their own territory, their own country, their own sovereignty, and also support wherever possible the Palestinians' cause. In the meantime, so-called peace treaty between Iran and USA, behind which is Israel, is not taking place, unlikely to take place unless Iranian regime bows down. And that is, they have to give up their sovereignty, not indirectly but directly. They cannot continue their missile programs, UAV programs, naval expansion, helping the resistant forces, and give up all their uranium enrichments to USA and stop further enrichment. That means their entire country, even their oil reserves and all that, will become what is USA is managing in Venezuela and elsewhere globally. How much Russia, North Korea, China will help Iran is yet to be seen. Well, that's enough for the day as far as the Middle East and resistance against imperialist regime is concerned, but I must say that as long as capitalism exists, it's the mother of all form of capitalist degenerations in form of fascism, Nazism, imperialism, etc. And they cannot be eliminated. Anti-imperialist movement without anti-capitalist movement, without the aim for socialist revolution and socialist construction in our respective countries and societies, will be useless, and which we have been witnessing for more than 100 of years. Now let us see what is happening in Russia and Ukraine war. In south, in Zaporozhye, Ukrainians' offensive operation continues, in which they have regained plenty of their lost lands. In Zaporozhye, the fight is on in Stepnohirsk area, northern part of Primorsky, and towards Magdalinovka. Eastern part of Zaporozhye, Ukrainians with their reserves are continuing their counterattacks in several sectors towards Guliai Pol, Tarnovatoe, Berezov, and down south in Prylyuki. Ukrainians also attempted to cross Haichu River to reach Dobropilia and Huliaipol sector, but this time they did not succeed. Their counterattacks are on in Svatkov, Staro-Ukrenka, and Zaliznikne. Now, coming to Eastern Europe, the situation is not so bad as far as Russian army is concerned, like in south. In Pokrovsk-Konstantinivka direction, Russians are advancing continuously towards Balitsky and Novo-Donbass area. Fight is on near Grishna and Toretsk area as well. Siversk, Sloviansk, Russians are advancing westward from both Chasiv Yar and above in Soledar, Siversk regions. In Lyman, I do not have much update, but little bit is known that Lyman is being encircled and Russians' offensive operations continuously going on from southeast and northwest direction, and though their advance is pretty slow. In Kupiansk, fight is on in eastern bank of Oskil River and towards Kupiansk Uzlovoye, which was thought to be under Russian control, but it is not so. Now coming to northern Kharkiv region, that is Volchansk. Russians' offensive operation now has started and they have moved towards outskirts of Pokrovka in Slobozansky direction and adjacent to Volchansk. The Russians have moved in last 3 days more than 500 meters in Staritsa, and they have also advanced towards southwest Semenivka 250 to 500 meters in Khatne direction. In Sumy, Russians' offensive operation continuing in Krasnopalsky, Glukhovsky districts. Russians have also advanced in Kondratovka, Alexievka, Varakine, Yabluvka line and also towards Yunakufika direction. The total gains have been more than 2 square kilometer in last 3 days, for which I am making the video. Interdiction missions. Ukrainians have been carrying out interdiction missions deep inside Russian territory and also in Belgorod regions, Bryansk, Volgograd, which they have been continuing since long time. In the meantime, Russians too are continuously launching air attacks as well as attacks launched from ground in Odisha, Polvograd, Nikolevka, Zaporizhia, Kharkiv, Kursk regions. As far as peace between Russia and Ukraine are concerned, it seems that Trump is worried. Well, he is actually not, though he has been telling overtly and openly that Zelensky must sign the peace treaty as soon as possible. If it is signed, the American imperialists have lots of control within Ukraine, including Zaporizhye nuclear power plant and other rare earth element deposits or depositories inside or within Russia itself also. But if there is no peace, as far as the war is concerned, US military wing as well as arm industries are gaining. The NATO Secretary General has said that we were never united as now before, and that includes USA as well. He is right. Internally, USA is doing everything what Biden's regime was doing with more force. Only thing now they are not paying that much as they were paying earlier. For example, this year, only European Union is to give $38 billion as military aid to Ukraine, that is for 2026. Now one news from India, Opus 4.5 4.5. That program, AI thing, has come and it is likely to hit our IT sectors quite deeply. 30% of their share market has already gone down, and their workforce in TCS, WP, RO, etc., are going down badly. Affected basic main reasons are areas are Bangalore, Gurgaon, Chennai, Hyderabad, etc., all over India, in fact, and this is likely to be global phenomena as well. As far as IT sectors, those who thought, even for that matter, airlines, medical, HR, etc., that they are not the workers, even if they are not the masters, they must know they are bloody well workers. And if they do not join the working forces of the India, the working class of the India, along with the peasants, it's not long. It may not take years. Maybe in 2026 itself, maximum by 27 or 28, they will face the heat as their colleagues have already started facing. On 12 February, when there was general strike all over India, the Bangalorean IT sectors joined en masse. They can feel the heat. And that's all for the day, friends. See you later. Thank you.